Hi, it's Lynne with Soft Squares. Today I'm going to show you how to make some coasters that don't have any cutting to them, except for snipping corners, which, yeah, we're making these. There's no cuts to this, super easy. Takes 6, what are these? Charm squares, 5x5 squares for each one. With a package of 42, you can make 7 of these. I'm going to show you how to do it, and they come together really fast. Hi, it's Lynne with Soft Squares. Today we're going to make some coasters. We're making sets of 2 out of charm squares. It takes just 6 per coaster, and you can even take a layer cake or fat quarter to get the pieces that you need. And we're going to make a bunch of these. I took the fabric from the fat quarter, Annie's Fat Quarter Club that just arrived, and look what I made out of them. I did all these, and then I pulled one fabric out of there because there were 6 colors, and one of them went into the gift bags that I did a couple weeks ago. So no, it was last week into the table runner. It's all running together. Anyway, so this is how many I was able to get out of 5 fat quarters. And that's 6 pieces per coaster. That makes sense. And then I took some other scraps that I had and just made some others. Wah. I came up with these. And then I also made, using a charm pack, these. This is from the Heirloom line, and each one's different. Look how cute that is. I tried to make a round one. That is not round. It's the same process, except before you do anyway, you just round your corners, but use something that's really round instead of freehanding. Anyway, so I got 7 out of it. Only 6 that are usable out of the 42 pieces of a charm pack. So you can go a long ways with these, but look how cute they are. They're just adorable. So here they're just complimentary, and then the others I just made them into actual sets, like these 2 are a set. Let's make them. All right, today we're going to make this little coaster. So here's our little coaster, and as I was trying to come up with the prototype, I went through several different versions, and for kicks I'm going to give you a preview of some of the not so good ones. This is square, has square points, although when I went to turn it I did come through one of the corners. Be super careful that you leave yourself some room when you clip that corner to flip it, and you don't do that. But this is one of my first ones. It kind of looks okay till you look close, and I could not get rounded corners. I couldn't get this to line up for anything. And what I did is you use a 5-inch square of fabric, and I used a 4.5-inch square of Pellon. And if you reduce it to 4 inches, then you get something like this where your corners are different. So this is one that can be used, but I wouldn't gift it to anybody. And then for fun, you can make these a circle, and this is my circle one, but if you look real close, you'll see it's really not round. So you'll want something really good to follow to give you your circle instead of freehanding it like what I did. But it's the exact same thing. I just decided to round the corners off before I finished it. So I'm going to show you how to build these. So again, this is what we're making, and it takes 6 5x5 pieces of fabric. Now you need top and a bottom, and then you need 4 for the very top. So as you look at this, you see here's your bottom. The top one you don't even see, it is inside, but you want something there because it's still open. You can even hide a little something in there. But we're going to, I want this one to be my bottom fabric, okay? And you can do it however you want, whether you want them to be like 4 different colors, like not this one. Like I was playing with this one, or if you want to try to save colors, but these are different prints. Whatever you want to do, there's no rule. But what I've decided, because this particular package of fabric, which by the way is Heirloom by Alexa Marshall Abeg. It is a charm pack from Ruby Star Society, and Heirloom is the name of 42 pieces. So anyway, you're gonna see a lot of different looking fabrics. They're all from the same line. So anyway, I'm gonna put this on the bottom. Oh, actually, I lied. That bottom piece is going to the side. This is the piece that's going to be right here, right underneath all the folds, the piece that you don't see, which is why I'm using this piece, because I wasn't able to make it work with all my other sets as I made them up. But I do have several duplicates. So as I went through, you're going to take 4 of them, whatever you want to be on the top, and in my case I'm taking 2 of 2 different kinds with the exact same print. That's just what I chose to do. Now, if you have a directional print like this, watch what happens if you pay attention to the direction. You can fold it this way, right? Or you can fold it this way. There's no right or wrong reason. But what I discovered as I was making these is you'll see some magic go on when I'm laying this out. So you're going to take one piece, raw edges are always going to be over here, fold is here. Take your next piece, put it on top like that, then go back to the same color and put it there, raw edges out. Now look, it just continues my pattern clear through. I could lay it any way I want, but that was kind of fun to continue it. Now this is going to get covered up, but you'll still see how it works. Anyway, we still have this 4th piece. We're going to again do outside corners, and I have arrows going on this, and for fun I'm going to keep my arrows going the same way. Okay, so this is what the top of it's going to look like. Now look how cool that is. You're going to have the continuation of whatever was in the middle and the direction. If you do it the way I did, you could do whatever you want, but that was a fun little surprise. So now you're going to take some clips. Pinning will be a little hard. There's a lot of layers and you're going to even add more. So you could pin. I think clips, this is a really good project for the clips. And we are going to do a top stitch all around that. But before we do that, we're going to take what's going to be our bottom piece and lay it right side down. Now there's no direction on the bottom. So you've built yourself a little sandwich, okay? The thing you have to keep in mind is whatever one you want to be on the bottom, see like this one, needs to go on top of your sandwich at this point, face down, and then add that to your little group of clips. Try not to move anything underneath. That's the whole point of the clip, is to keep those rectangles together, and just move your clips down. And I actually did wiggle something. Nope, I didn't. Yeah, I felt like that shifted just a tiny bit. Okay, so now we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch around. Now if you choose to do a bigger seam allowance here, you're going to need to adjust your pellon, and we'll get to the pellon in just a minute. So what you're going to do, I'm going to stitch this one, I'll show you. Actually, before I go any further, I want to point out, we're going to close up 3 of the 4 sides, and because this, I'm going to do an extra stitch right here above, so it'll be in the seam line. You could do it whenever you want. I personally want to do it now. So now you can see what that looks like. It's just a couple stitches. You're just keeping that flap together. I got a lot of threads with that, didn't I? Okay, now I would recommend still pinning it because you have to keep all the layers together. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to give myself a good size opening. So just come down a little bit here and then turn the corner, the width of the foot, and then you're gonna go all the way around and come back over here and do the same thing. So you're gonna actually, when you get here, go straight up. You'll find that it'll make turning a little easier. So now I'm gonna stitch that. Okay, so I have blue thread on my machine right now. Hopefully it's easier for you to see, but I just came down, went around. You can see on the back a little easier, probably because it's lighter. And there's my little stitch that only goes through the bottom layers. Okay, so now when you get to this point, you're going to take your scissors. It's the only time you need them other than to trim little wild threads. And you're gonna cut your corners. Now this is where I got a little too close to this corner and was a little too aggressive trying to get the point when I turned it. So just keep in mind your corner as you clip it, and that's all you're gonna cut off of this guy. Okay, let's turn it inside out. You're gonna want a turning tool. It'll be very handy. Now this one I have already done. This is the point where you want to press it, and then we're going to add our pellon. So this little point right here helps to get your corners. You still have a lot of bulk, so you're not going to do the point, but you can give it the illusion of a point with your stitch. See how I went around and I just went straight when I got to those corners instead of like following a curve. So now here's our opening, okay, and we're going to just top stitch it in a minute, but right now I want to crease it as well as fold everything flat. So I'm gonna get my iron, and this is where I need to play with this so it looks pretty, because that's going to be its final resting place. And as you can see on this one, it didn't quite line up and I actually missed it and I had to go back. Oh, and keep in mind, the reason I start here and come down is I want you to have a corner so you can actually get a tight corner. So you should have a little bit. Let's see here. All right, so just now I have a crease. Let's try it over here. Okay, so fold it down. You want to hold it there because you're really trying to get a crease. It will make life a lot easier. We are going to press it again, but for now I just wanted to get that in there. Now this is where you're going to take your 4x4 piece of pellon, and the pellon that I'm using is a stiff one. This is Peltex 72F double-sided fusible ultra firm stabilizer, and so it's going to give us the stability we need in our coaster, but keep it nice and thin. And this is where you can see, well, actually, here we go. This is my 5-inch that's now down to 4.5 inches. So this is how I put it inside. Okay, so now I've got it in there. So that's why I need a bigger opening, because this is pretty stiff, and I kind of rolled it to get it in there. And now what I really want is this part to be on the back side of the pellon. And you can feel inside where the seam allowance is from going around. And if it doesn't bother you, leave it. But if it feels like it needs to move to the back, this is the time to do it. Now follow your instructions on your pellon or whatever thick stabilizer you choose to use. This one suggests that you actually get some water engaged with this. So I'm going to give it a good press just to get it flat for a minute. Okay, let's see, do I like this? So when I come through with my little top stitch, I don't. I want that to be in more. It's already sticking to the pellon. It's doing its job. Now it says get some water. Now there's a lot of layers of fabric before it gets to the pellon, so I'm going to hold the iron on this side a little more. But that water helps. Now we have not done our top stitching next, or yet. We are going to do it next. And as you can see, I just barely go around the edge. Helps to keep that nice and crisp. And then it encloses where I turned, and I believe this is where I turned. Although it's kind of hard to tell, and that's the goal. So if you can, when you get to the corner, make a nice crisp sharp turn, even though you're not going to have quite as sharp on the outside, if you like the look of this. Anyway. Now your pellon is not quite to the edge, but you have fabric in there. So you're okay. My pellon is on this one. It's really hard to find, but like from here to here. Yeah, it's a tight fit, but it's perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to do top stitch. I'm actually going to put this on the machine with this side up, because this is what I want to show. So in case your bobbin thread is not as pretty, you may want to consider doing that too. I'm still not liking this. I wish that I could get it to, well, the problem is all those layers, and it started to fuse. So I'm going to work on this side first, so I don't have to keep fiddling with it. Keep trying to get it down. So this is what I have done. I without thinking, started with it this side up, which is not a bad thing, and it looks pretty. In fact, this is a very forgiving pattern, but I was more concerned about what was going on right here, and it still looks good, except the way my machine starts and stops, it gives a little knot on the bottom side, and so that is more visible there. And then even though I was sewing it upside down and I could see this, I still missed it. So I actually went over it a second time. Now, if you do something like that, you might want to go all the way around everything twice so it looks like it's intentional. That's what happened there. Now, going back to my poor excuses of examples, this first one, I actually did a little double stitch going around it, and it's really cute. It's really tiny. It's still not going to catch your seam, you know, where you're turned, because it's in too far, but it was just really cute, and it was just kind of a way to reinforce it. But this That one's kind of scary. All right, so this one's done. Oh, no, it's not. Well, it is. This is fused pretty good on the back side because the heat was able to get to it. I think the top is probably fused as well, but look how cute this is. You can, you know, put stuff in there. You could put batting in there instead of, or with the Pellon if you want to. This is what gives it some thickness. Now that Pellon is actually just free floating in there, but with the heat from the iron, it has been fused and it is for sure sticking to the back. I'm just trying to get it to stick to both sides because of the thickness of all the fabric. But isn't it nice and flat? Looks really good, huh? So there's one, there's another one, here's another one. And I'm going to finish these. So this is what it looks like just before you turn it. You can get this part done before the Pellon goes in. It makes it easier because if you need to move it, it's not starting to adhere to it when you're trying to get that seam. Oh, that one looks better, much better. Okay, now there's no Pellon in this one. If you think about it, there's 6 layers of fabric here, and it might be all that you want. You have 2 because this is folded, and then all of these overlap, so that gives you 4. And then you have the 2 original pieces, the front and the back. It's a little bit of a difference. That piece is not quite square. I'm still going to put it in there. Actually, I probably want to make it a little narrower over here. Square pieces, probably better. Okay, put it in there. Just kind of got to roll it and then work it around. The biggest thing to remember is this part right here, you want it to be up and over the Pellon before you stitch it down. So that is need to make sure is there. And then get it so it feels good, and that's where you want it to be. This one had a little wiggle room because of the size, but now I'm going to steam it. and this will need a top stitch. This one, I'm going to switch my thread, but I just need to do this stitch around it, clip the corners, turn it inside out, press it, add my pellon, make it flat like this, and then they're both going to get a top stitch, and then I'll show you what they look like. Well, there we have it. All kinds of weird things going on here. Let's see. Can't really make a rainbow, can I? Alright, so I was able to make 5 good coasters and 2 not so good coasters, but a total of 7 coasters from a 42-piece charm pack with no leftovers, other than if you decide to make circles and you like them and whatever you cut off of yours to make a circle. I'm going to keep trying to see if I can find the right circle for what I need. What I did is I have these coasters from Lori Holt, and I put that down because I wanted it to be at least that size, and then I kind of freehanded around it. Obviously I didn't do very good at that, or sewing, or any of that, but I'm thinking as I'm going here, I don't know, this actually might be, this tin might be the right size for me to trace. Actually, I'm gonna try that one to start out with. And then make my middle piece this one. All right, I'm gonna try one of those. I'll let you know how that works out. This is gonna be my template for the circle. Let's talk. I just cut up some fat quarters because I wanted a certain print to be used for these coasters, and we're starting out with a 5-inch square, and so I had fat quarters. I was able to get 10 5x5 squares out of each fat quarter, and I'm going to show you how I did that. But look, I have 50 because I had 5 different prints, and we got a lot, and there's some that I need to piece. And so I took the little edge and I just joined them. I'm going to press this seam flat, open and flat, and then it's going to go on the inside. So it's going to look like this. It's going to go on the inside of the coaster, so you're not going to see it and you're not going to feel it. So if you find that you need more, you could do that. Honestly, you could put pieces of black fabric inside. You don't even have to use your coordinating prints, because the idea is that you can peek in, but no one typically is going to see what's in there. So good luck with this project. I think you'll have fun. Let me know how it works for you. Ooh, I just got an idea. What about making octagon size? Maybe little stop signs when we're done. So basically your square and then cutting the corners off. Let me know if you guys have tried any other sizes out of these, or what suggestions you think would be good. But I've got myself a bunch of Christmas hot pads I'm going to, they're hot pads, coasters, that I'm going to make now. And I'm going to actually add these to the little gift bags that I've made. And they're going to be a gift that has the coaster and the little bag with the hot cocoa and maybe some cookies and a mint cinnamon stick. That's where my stuff is going. I'm done. I've got this whole stack done, and it was really easy. If you do it like assembly line, it goes fast. So don't forget, there is no pattern for this. You just need 6 charm squares. You have the top, which is under your fold right here, because this opens up. You have your top part, you have your back part, and then you have a folded, each of these are folded in half. Really the only cutting you have is snipping of threads and trimming the corners before you turn it inside out. And so you don't really need true scissors. You can deal with those little snippy ones, but it's super easy and it's good. You just need your iron. Make sure you have a hot iron with the pill on. I just took a full charm pack, so I have all different colors, but they are from the same line. If you don't want them to be so hodgepodgey, then use yardage, or even a, you could use layer cakes, because you're going to get 4 pieces per layer cake. You can make quite a bit. Anyway, play with it, have fun. Let me know what you think, and please subscribe if you haven't. Like and share, and ring the hit the notification bell so it will ring when I make new videos. I'm doing Monday Makers every Monday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, and that's what this is, where I do a project or a technique. And then Saturday is the Saturday Situation, and that's also at 3 p.m. Mountain, and that's kind of a summary of what's been going on with my quilting behind the scenes, including some miscellaneous small box openings, some updates on projects I'm working on, and upcoming things. Anyway, hey, thanks guys. Have a great day.